Auzubillahiminashaitanirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning into PT World. You watch your world this morning. Alongside my very well-learned colleague who happens to be Miss Hajra Satti. I happen to be Shahzad Ihsan Khan, and Jummah Mubarak to each and every one of you. Hello Hajra. Assalamu alaikum. How are you feeling today?
Walaikum assalam. Thank you so much. Jummah Mubarak to you and everyone out there. So Shahzad, in the Middle East, in United Arab Emirates, Pakistan had made quite a strong presence in an event that is happening, that is building the bridges across the industry of the artificial intelligence, and the event is titled Artificial Intelligence Everything Global. 11 leading tech companies from Pakistan are participating, and their two are AI-driven startups. They are making quite a strong presence there, and that is artificial intelligence most Sputnik movement, I would say, which is driving the winds of change, transforming societies, industries and digital economies globally. So in order to further elaborate and talk about it, we are very glad that we have been joined by the Ambassador of Pakistan to UAE, FAISAL NIAZ TIRMIZI Sahab. Assalamu alaikum, Ambassador Sahab, and thank you so much for joining us.
Walaikum salam, and a very good morning to all of you and all the viewers from Abu Dhabi.
Right, Ambassador Sahab, it's an absolute pleasure hosting you. Please elaborate us what sort of conversations are being held at a very important event of the AI Everything Global
2025.
Well, that's what they say. AI is everything now. This is a transformational movement which the world witnessed with the creation of steam engine, electricity, telecommunication, computers, and now this is the new frontier. The United Arab Emirates was and is probably the first country to appoint a full-fledged minister for artificial intelligence, and Omar al-Ulama, and they are focused on this thing. They plan to add around $100 billion to the UAE economy in the next 5-6 years through artificial intelligence, because this is the new way to artificially use all the information that we are gathering through IT technology to make a better decision for governance, to make a better decision for health issues, a better decision for tourism, a better decision for banking and different fields.
Exactly,
so
Your
this
Excellency.
is a great.
Yeah, Your Excellency, which is why, because we're short on time today, so we would certainly want to ask you, because you represent Pakistan over there, the UAE as well. So imagine, how do you think that the Pakistan's National AI Policy 2023 is going to set the framework for Pakistanis as well? There have been so many industrial revolutions that we have not been a part of, unfortunately. How do you see, or how much important it is for Pakistan to jump onto this bandwagon?
This is our opportunity, because we have the 60% youth bulge, which not many countries have. And frankly, this is our opportunity. Our total exports at present are only $3.5 billion. Our potential is much more. After the US and the UK, UAE is the third biggest export destination in terms of IT, Pakistan. So we have joined it because there was a big exhibition in Dubai a couple of months ago, GITEX, where Pakistan was declared the tech destination, and we had a big presence. So this time we have over 11 companies here, two specifically dealing with AI, and now they have signed deals with their counterparts from all across the world to showcase Pakistan that we have the potential to improve, to contribute to the global economy.
Ambassador Saab, so artificial intelligence is also called the multi-agent ecosystem, because it is collaborating with so many diverse sectors like healthcare, like finance, like education, energy, you name it, any sector. So, and what sort of conversations are happening at this event when we talk about regulating the artificial intelligence? And secondly, Pakistan, which is a breeding ground for this digital ecosystem, how can we make sure that we galvanize this momentum and positively exploit it in our favor?
Well, that's what the whole theme of this conference was, to make the connections between the Pakistani companies and their counterparts, not only in the Gulf, but globally, because all major IT companies were represented in this global AI exhibition. And that's what we are trying to do, that we have the expertise and we can contribute, because uh, the world will be transformed. If you want to see the effect of artificial intelligence, you have to come to this country where everything is being driven through a click of a button through your smartphone. And that's what we said, that we have the potential to make the connections between people who are working on artificial intelligence in Pakistan with their counterparts all across the world. And of course, the chairman of Pakistan Software Export Board was also here. He had a number of meetings. He also spoke on a number of forums, showcasing Pakistan as a major destination where a lot of investment can be made to make the connections of the skilled workforce in Pakistan with the global giants who are working in this field.
Your Excellency, in addition to this, where you actually have pointed out that our IT exports last year was at $3.5 billion, and certainly we can serve the purpose of be a breeding ground. How do you think that global collaborations with Pakistan and UAE can actually help us within AI partnerships, and how do you think that we can reach out better in bigger goals?
Um, as I said, we were already declared the tax destination in the last GITEX, and of course, the Minister of IT is also coming here for the World Government Summit, where she would be meeting her counterpart from the UAE, where the Prime Minister is also coming here for the World Government Summit in Dubai. So Pakistan will also be showcasing, will be carrying forward the momentum that it started from GITEX to Global AI to the World Government Summit, to offer Pakistan as a major destination for investments, because that's what we have. We have the youth bulge. We have the universities which are producing, some of the universities are really producing world-class people who are working in artificial intelligence, like NUST, like LUMS, a few institutes like FAST. So we have to make those connections. And this is an opportunity for the Minister for IT, for the Prime Minister, to carry forward those discussions which had started 6 months ago in Dubai to the next level at the World Government Summit in Dubai on the 11th and 12th of this month.
I mean, what sort of conversations are you hoping that this conference will bring, and what sort of collaboration do you think it will foster a new open era? And there also Digital Nation Pakistan Act, which is initiated by this government to foster digital transformation. So how do you think we can bridge a divide, a digital divide through initiating such sort of conversations, that too in the arena of artificial intelligence?
Well, as you are aware that Pakistani companies are already giving a lot of back office support to a number of organizations like Etisalat, like Ras Al Khaimah Bank, like DIB, Dubai Islamic Bank in Pakistan. So that was the first step. But now we are saying that we have the expertise that we can take those collaboration to the AI level and increase the turnover of businesses many folds. So at present, our our IT exports to the UAE around $300 million. We are hoping to cross the magical figure of $1 billion within this year. And frankly, once that's what happens with all businesses, that once it takes momentum, when technology is coming, you make it, the progress is exponential. And that is what we are offering Pakistan right now through this, our participation in these conferences at technical level as well as at the political level.
Exactly. And Your Excellency, in addition to this, obviously, I would want to speak about two major issues. And number one, obviously, how do you think that we're going to invest? In fact, we are going to get more investors from foreign to kind of invest in our AI companies as well, because we have 500 AI startups over here in the country, number one. Number two, we have seen that any AI startup which actually was fruitful eventually has moved to Silicon Valley or other parts of the world where they would want an exit strategy for themselves. We have seen Rehan Jalil, who had a company with the name of Vicora, sold it for $150 million, then moved on to sell another company for $300 million. Now the AI cloud computing solutions which his company is providing is worth $2 billion. How can we protect these startups to be within the country so that it adds up to our economy?
Well, that's a challenge, but that's the nature of the beast, the global economy. For instance, the biggest IT investment in the UAE has been by a Pakistani with Kareem, which was sold for $3.2 billion. But that has created a lot of opportunities for the Pakistanis, not only within the GCC, but also on the Silicon Valley. So we have to create an environment within Pakistan that those companies could stay here, but we cannot cater only in this global world to a domestic market. We have to open up for the global market, and Pakistan should be ready to embrace that. Because if you have an opening in the global market, the numbers of Pakistanis working in that sector exponentially. And that's what we have witnessed, especially in China and even in other countries, that a lot of their experts in IT sector or in business sectors who had moved out of their countries have started to come back and started investing within their homelands. And that is exactly what our hope, that at certain stage, we would encourage all these investors who have made big, not only in the GCC, but also in the Silicon Valley, to come back to Pakistan and invest in that country, because it's a natural connector between Central Asia, South Asia, and Middle East. So we have the opportunities, we have the youth bulge, we have the technical expertise, we have to create the right business eco center to attract those investors. And we are working in that direction.
Right, and thank you so much, Ambassador Saab, for shedding the light. And I think in this entire scenario, the digital transformation is the heart of what we are doing, because we are going to move on to another segment, and that segment is also related to the Pakistan's tech startup scene.
So thank you so much, sir, for being with us. Lovely to be in conversation with you, and we'll certainly be bugging you here and there, whenever we would want you to be with us and to let our viewers in 46 different countries know what Pakistan is doing at the digital front. Thank you so much for being with us. Kaifa hal? Alhamdulillah. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, where I actually posed this question to my worthy ambassador, and that was that how can we invest foreign investors, or probably, kind of welcome foreign investors to come and invest in our digital ecosystem. Imagine it's already happening, and we've got a live example over here. So there was this event which was known as the Investor Connect event, hosted 2025, hosted by the Higher Education Commission, and a lot of foreign investors came in to invest in our digital startups. Well, one of the investors we were lucky is over here with us inside the studios. She happens to be Miss PEGAH. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Good morning. How are you feeling today?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मेरा नाम पेगा गुल है और मुझे बहुत खुशी है कि मैं पाकिस्तान आई हूँ। पाकिस्तान और पाकिस्तान के लोग बहुत प्यारे और मेहमान नवाज है।
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for joining us. Wonderful to have
much.
you. For everybody, ladies and gentlemen, PEGAH happens to be an author, and that too, she has been an all-time bestseller for 8 times as well. She has been she is an angel investor in UAE, based out of UAE, and not just that, she has actually generated $3 million for startups as well. And she was here to actually hear the pitches of our young budding startups as well. So let's get started with that. First things first, why would you be over here in Pakistan? Do you think that our digital startup ecosystem is so ripe now that all the foreign investors will be coming following you?
Absolutely. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me. And I know about the Pakistan startups ecosystem for quite some times, but I never been to Pakistan. But being here has just completely changed my perspective. It's way better than what I expected, and I want to
You're better than it might come across bitter, but better than
yeah, way better.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
was already good. I could see lots of potential, as also His Excellency earlier mentioned, that there are lots of Pakistani startups companies that they come to UAE and they exit, and we see lots of examples there. But coming here, and thank you so much from HEC, that actually Higher Education Commission.
Exactly. So there are only 3 basic questions which we would want you to shed light on. Number 1, what makes our digital ecosystem, fruitful or ripe for foreign investors to come in? Number 1. Number 2, if there are any other investors, what do they need to look for to keep their investment safe? Number 3, what should be the exit strategy?
Okay. So for the number one, what was the question?
Yeah, so the number one was, what makes our digital ecosystem right for foreign
Okay,
investors?
there's so many pros that Pakistani startups they have. One of them is the costs.
Okay.
In comparison to the other, Western companies, the Pakistani ecosystem is showing like 70% less. This is one thing. The second thing, you are in the area of, Middle East, and the Middle East is totally different. For many, Western companies, startups, entering the Middle East market is so difficult, and the understanding the culture, like people actually, making decisions mostly with the heart.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is something that I experienced in Dubai after 17 years. I know not only Dubai, in GCC and in the whole, Middle East. So this is something that definitely it's a add value as well.
Okay.
And except that, I can see that they are, I met with lots of Pakistani startups during the event, face to face. So many, there are so many so much advanced than the others, that I met.
Okay.
Maybe the only thing they need to work on it is their confidence.
Okay.
Like when they ask for, the capital, they ask for very little because maybe they don't see the broader perspective.
Okay.
They don't see themselves that they can actually go global.
But Ms. PEGAH, this also brings us to this very vital question. So starting a startup is a very daunting task, right? And obviously securing the seed funding is something that is very crucial to starting a startup. But what if, that seed funding is not there, and for the reasons that are beyond your control, how to navigate that very uncharted waters in the first place?
This is a problem with all the startups.
Yeah,
It's not only specific for Pakistan ecosystem. However, it's really important that the founders working on their actual branding as well. This is something I'm helping lots of the startups that I have in my portfolio to work on that, because at that stage, people normally want to know who are the founders.
Yeah.
And if they are like hidden, no one knows about them, and they don't really portray their background, their educations, and if they don't come across as confident,
Yeah.
no one can, trust them.
Obviously, and there was a very Starch report which mentioned that in the first half of 2024, Pakistan's seed funding has dropped by 92%, and that's a very, very staggering number, right? So is it a symptom of a broader global trends, or it is a localized phenomena? And how do you think the initiation of the conference, which Shahzad mentioned, the initiative of the HEC, is essential in spawning and fostering such sort of conversations about the seed funding and the venture capitalism?
Yes, I mean, in general, the decrease in 2024, it's kind of global, but not 90%.
Yeah.
So it's definitely there is a local element on that as well,
Right.
and that local element is something that it might be that because they see lots of failure, and they see or they didn't witness the actual growth. So that's one of the reasons. And regarding HEC or any other government body that they are actually fostering startup ecosystem,
Right.
they are doing phenomenal job, honestly, and bringing people here, it gives me much more confidence that actually I invest in startups.
Exactly,
here.
and we certainly would want you to be an example for people out there as well, because you're here,
Absolutely.
and I would want, in fact, urge Pakistanis
Absolutely.
to kind of look for, such digital startups, because other than investing in property and cars and whatnot, I think that'll be a great thing to do. But, at this point of time, because you happen to be an angel investor, right?
Yes.
And I think that your role is right at the beginning of it, where Hajra actually pointed out towards seed funding. Where do you see our digital ecosystem? Do you think that we really need to see for venture capitalists, or do you think that it's more of, how we need to get angel investors involved, so that we can actually be at a point to look for VCs?
Yes, you actually mentioned really good example about the
You always do,
paradigm
right?
shift, about the paradigm shift from the classic investments, traditional ones, and to go to more of a startups.
Yep.
And the capital is not as big as starting a restaurant or investing in properties. They can do that with a fraction of that cost for few startups at the earliest stage. Okay, that's something I think it's a educational things needs to happen by places like, for example, HEC. Except that bringing the foreign investors, also educating the local investors as well. So
and we have really seen how within your own profile, you've been mentoring and coaching C-level executives, entrepreneurs, and startup founders.
Yes.
Now, where you spoke that, that we would certainly want our, startup leads to be more confident. Now, imagine that if their business has not done so well so far, certainly it's hard to get to that point of confidence. So what will be your, what are you going to say to those startup leads that, hey, you know what, you got to believe in yourself, or probably you should know your worth or value. How can they do that?
Yeah, exactly. Their confidence. I mean, unless you have the burning desire, nothing happens. I mean, it's happened all like in all life situations. You need to believe in what you're offering. Most of my investments happen when I see the belief in the person who's doing the presentation. Even if I see a little bit of a fear, I will be like, do more due diligence to find out if that works or not. But when I see they are like, and most of the, and this is an example, because most of the successful startups that they become unicorn started with people that believe it. And although they started in a room that it was nothing there, but they felt that this is going to be successful. And that belief, it's a contagious thing. People feel that, So if I speak on the phone with someone and I'm smiling, the other person will not see my smile, but would feel it, you know. So those are the things that if you believe it in your heart, the person in front of you will believe in you as well. You know, so
and I'm pretty sure that it must take more than, believing and showing the investors that, how much you are serious in implementing your idea or excited about your idea. But now let's steer the conversation towards the artificial intelligence. And when we talk about Pakistan, it's a very fertile breeding ground for the digital ecosystems, because we see TikToks flourishing here. There are lots of local voices from the rural areas, who are making their presence felt. That was not the case previously, right?
Yes.
So how can we make sure that this tech startup, which seems to be very urban sort of a thing, can also seep into those areas, to those fringes or peripheries, which might not be a very a hot breeding ground?
And alleviate them.
Sorry?
Yeah, and alleviate them.
Yes. If I got your question right, you're asking how this Pakistani startups in AI can actually expand in
to the fringes, to the villages, or the areas which are not
so that
core
people can have sustainable businesses even in the rural areas, even in the villages. People from the villages can be a part of the startup ecosystem.
Absolutely.
And bring a lot of prosperity to their region.
And especially because there's a very vibrant internet there, and they have making their presence there.
Absolutely. Like for many startups, if they want to go global, they need to have the work on their local presence, and they have it's a platform ready for them.
But they might not know English, right? So how can they cross this barrier? But they have wonderful ideas. So how can they pitch there?
Who is?
I'm talking about the villagers or the poor people, who are vibrant in their idea execution, but the language might be a barrier.
So that the startups are not only restricted to the urban centers.
Right. Right now the language is no more barrier with the whole AI improvement and the ChatGPT and everything. So many excuses in the past is not going to be valid nowadays. So they can actually use the AI to do the translation. So many things happen through the AI that it makes everyone's job so much easier. Like I was in Vienna earlier for I got two startups that I'm fostering them there, and I went to the I want to buy some medicines, like some supplements. I just used I took a picture, sent it to ChatGPT, started to telling me how good it is, what is the ingredients, and even the reviews. So language is not a barrier anymore.
Exactly. So which is why very quickly towards the end, what do you think that should be the exit strategy for any startup, once they have matured? How do you think that they can sell it off for $1 billion or worth of $2 billion, $500 billion? I wish them all the luck. So please go ahead.
From the perspective of someone from the UAE, that I've seen lots of startups in that ecosystem, and not only UAE, also GCC, you know, Saudis, Qatar, and all those countries as well. Pakistani startups, they can use GCC as a next level to go global. And that's something that they have to have it in their mind at the very beginning to before going, you know, global, because it's still close to them in terms of the, you know, in terms of the distance. And in terms of culture, it's Islamic culture, it's a Middle Eastern culture, lots of things that it's not much in the West. But when they get actually out of Pakistan and they start to expand in the GCC, then the next level is going global. And
exactly. So thank you so much, Ms.
Thank you
PEGAH,
so
for being
much
with
for
us.
having
Lovely to
me.
be in
Thank you so
conversation
much.
with you,
Thank
and we
you so
hope
much.
that you're going to become angel investor for our digital startups and the tech startup over here as well. For everybody who's out there, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the examples that, you know, that imagine that, you know, people who live or reside outside Pakistan have actually found the startup ecosystem fruitful over here. We have had 500 or more AI startups over here in the country. It's time for me, Hajra, and all of you people to invest in it and have a great retired life, you know. So that's what we are looking forward to.
If you have the passion, right? And I don't think so. You need to venture if you don't have the passion. But we want to wish a happy birthday to one of a very worthy colleague.
Jamal Saab.
Yes, worthy colleague of ours, the Jamal Saab. Happy birthday to Jamal Saab, and may you have many more, and may you prosper in your life, and may Allah Ta'ala bless you with a lot of His rahmat and blessings. Ameen summa ameen. And once again, Jummah Mubarak to everyone out there. And with that, we are signing off. Until next time, it's a goodbye. Allah Hafiz.
Good morning. Have a great day.